Hi, I'm Mike Macedonio, and I'm here today with Susan Schwartz. And let me tell you, we have someone really special in the room today with Susan. Not only is Susan in the top 1%ers for 2021 when it comes to bringing visitors and sponsoring members, she's in the top 1% of the 1%ers. Susan last year alone sponsored 13 members into BNI. That is absolutely phenomenal. And so, Susan, let's start with this. Would you mind sharing with the audience who you are and what you do?
Well, first of all, good morning, Mike, and thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it. My company is called Your Marketing Spot, and I build websites and marketing for BNI.
Excellent. And could you share some of your secrets? How is it that you're this successful? And by the way, this isn't the first year you've been in the 1%ers. Right? So you've been on a roll here. What are some of your secrets? How is it that you're able to bring so many people to BNI and have them join BNI?
Mike, when I talk to folks about BNI, I'm presenting an opportunity. So I know that when they join BNI, that their business is going to explode. And that's how I feel when I talk to everyone.
And
I just get real excited about it. And I think they just see that excitement.
So what do you say to them?
Well, what I say is, it's like, I've got this BNI opportunity. Let me tell you what happened with Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn is one of the people that I sponsored in BNI a couple of years ago, and I was really excited about her. But what happened is, and this is how I approached it. She approached me first and was just looking for an opportunity to network. Right? She starting a new business in her area and wanted to grow her business. So she reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then I saw it and I said, oh my gosh, she's local. She does accounting services. We've been looking for an accounting services person in one of my forming chapters here in BNI forever. So I reached back out. I said, I'd love to connect. And oh, by the way, we've been looking for an accounting services person, coach, to be in one of my BNI chapters forever. And I didn't hear from her, right? So I nudged her back and I said, no, really, we've been looking for an accounting services representative for one of my BNI chapters forever. My phone rang immediately. As soon as I clicked send, my phone rang right after that. And I said, Jerry Lynn, thank you for calling me back. And she goes, well, I'm interested in this BNI thing you're talking about. And I said, yes, we're forming this brand new chapter here in Fairfield, and we are looking for an accounting person to be a part of that chapter. And so she's like, oh, I'm interested. I'll be there. And I said, okay, actually, we were in person. I was just going to say, I'll send you the link, but we were in person at this time. It was a couple of years ago. And so that week I was at the meeting and she didn't show, and I was telling everybody about her, and I said, she's so excited she's going to be here, and she didn't show. So I texted her. She said, oh, my kid fell off the monkey bars at school. I'm like, oh no, I hope he's okay. And she's like, oh, he's fine. He's accident prone. So she goes, I said, well, so you can come next week, right? And she goes, well, can you meet me tomorrow? I go, sure, I'll meet you. And we set up a time to meet at Panera Bread here in Fairfield. And she showed up, and it was my enthusiasm, and it was the right time for her as well. She was looking for something to help her grow her business. And I too, in turn, said, BNI will change your life. It changed my life, and I know it will change your life. And so we're just sitting there talking over coffee, and she said, well, so how do I sign up? I said, well, there's an application process. I'd like you to meet the chapter members. She goes, do you have an application? I go, well, I have one in my car. And she said, well, go get it. And she's pulling out her checkbook, right? Now, I know that doesn't happen. That's not how it happens generally, but I got up and she's writing the check out. I went out and got the application. She filled it out. And from there, solid BNI member. She's the president of her chapter. Well, she came in as a vice president the first year, jumped right into the president seat. Now she's a director consultant. She coaches other people in that same manner as how to be a part of BNI. She'll coach people and say, BNI should be a part of your business, part of your marketing, right? So come to mind with that was Juan Vallejo. He's in Bay Hauling. And again, it's that trickle down effect, right? So I sponsored her, she sponsored him, but asked him to find a chapter in the area to market his business, right? And he, it was funny because he was bouncing around. He could figure out where to land, right? He finally landed in the Fairfield chapter. 2 weeks ago, he showed us his BNI, his phone with his BNI Connect, his thank you for closed business. His business closed $1 million in business because of BNI in his second year. And he was so proud of it. And that whole thing with him not knowing where to land was, he was worried about his appearance. He was, I know that Mike Martin, the realtor in that chapter, would always wear a suit jacket, right? And he said, I didn't even own a suit jacket. So he was worried about that at first, which that wasn't us, that was him, right? But then once he got over that and figured it out, he was so happy he joined. And I think he's in other chapters as well in BNI.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
and I got to say, in all my years in BNI, I don't think I've ever had somebody say, give me an application before they've even seen what BNI is or who's involved.
Didn't even see the meeting. It was crazy. And I just kind of blank stared at her. She goes, no, really, I want to sign up. You've convinced me this is going to be great for my business, and that's what I'm going to do. And it has been.
Mhm.
Right. One other thing too, Mike, I did want to talk about with my BNI experience is the whole the giver's game, right? Giving back. And I love the fact that Habitat for Humanity, the SPCA, when we have fires in our community, people will reach out to me for support because they know that I have connections with all these folks that want to be supportive. So for the Habitat for Humanity in particular, I actually talked about it at our leadership training when we were in person, right? You guys let me stand up and talk about this Habitat for Humanity. We're building this 6-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, a forever home, first one in the country for veterans to live. It's not like a temporary housing, it's their forever home. First one in the country here in Dixon, California. And I was able to stand up at leadership team training and say, I'm looking for help. And my electrician in Vacaville called me over right after that. He said, Susan, he goes, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I want to take my crew in and I want to do, I need the SKU. I need to see what what it looks like, but we want to go in and do all the electric. We'll bring our supplies and we'll do all the electric. And I go, Jason, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be stepping on anybody's toes, but let me ask them, right? The project manager of that, at that house, when I told him that, he just grabbed me up in his arms and just hugged me. He's like, thank you so much. And the people that were there, they had some veterans that were there that came all the time, to do the jobs around the house and help build and do the jobs. They were so thankful as well, because it would take them twice or 3 or 4 times the amount of time to do all that, plus the supplies, right? And of course, I had my roofer involved, my HVAC guy involved, all the women. They had a women's build one day, and we had like 30 BNI women there with hammers and saws and siding and edging and whatever else they had us doing. We were all doing it, and so just proud to be there, right? So that's what I love about BNI. I did a lot of volunteer work at the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club, and there were some things that came up. As a matter of fact, Beth Meisner came there with Brian Benson because of my, reaching out to her about the Business Voices grant, right? Which they did give us for hydroponic gardening. She texted me one day out of the blue. Her and Ivan were in town and said, I would really love to come over and see what's going on at the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club. I know you got the garden towers going. And I was like, heck yeah, heck yeah. And then that day, her and Brian came in. The little ones, it was summertime. The little ones were at the movie, which was good because it gets so hectic. But the teens were in there making salsa with the tomatoes, the cilantro, the onions, and all the produce that we got from not only from the back garden, but from our garden towers. So actually, there's a selfie of her on the Business Voices website with the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club kids. the teens, right? So I'm just so proud of that part of BNI as well. I know I'm going off here, aren't I? It's like,
Yeah, well, in BNI, the philosophy is givers gain,
yeah,
but those people that really practice it inside of BNI, it's part of the way they do life.
yeah.
And like you said, whether it's giving back to the community or, working within a BNI chapter.
Yeah.
Susan, if our audience wanted to get in touch with you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Actually, if you're not a BNI member, and you are looking for a chapter, I just want people to know out there that I can help you with that. But if you are a BNI member and want to get in touch with me, my email is Susan Schwartz at bnisfbay.com. And my phone number is 707-290-6999. I'd love to have a conversation with anybody. If you have any questions or need any help inviting or sponsoring, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Susan. And again, talk about being a rock star. 13 people in 2021 alone. It's outstanding, Susan. Look forward to celebrating this with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.